Hey, we are on day two, and today is all about setting intentions, inspired by one of my faves, Nina Simone. And so today, that's what I thought about. What is my actual intentions for this month, as it relates to this whole concept of demolishing the good girl archetype, right? And so for me, it's really about discovering the ways in which this is showing up in my life and my business that I may not be aware of, right? Um, as well as some ways that I am aware of as well, and just kind of seeing how deep some of those things go, the way in which those things are actually affecting me and the way in which I'm showing up in my calling and in this work that I'm here to do, to help other women, because it is this intentionality for me to lead by example, um, and show what it looks like to do some of this internal work, right? And even when you don't necessarily understand it, right? Because let's be clear, this is something that I have felt led to do. And so even for myself, I don't fully understand the totality of it all, but I do know that some of the ideals and things for the big vision that I know that I want to carry out, that there's a deeper level of freedom that I need to experience in order to be able to do those things without um seeking validation or permission or um without having to give any type of explanation or anything like that in the process as well. So these videos that I'm sharing, they really are super raw. I'm just talking to y'all as things are coming up. I have notes in regards to what I journaled on today and different things that came up during that time. And one of the things that I did today was actually watch a video here on YouTube, by Nina Simone. It's a short little clippet of a interview that she did where the person asked her what freedom looked like to her. And she made a this comment, which you've seen in, if you read my Substack article for today, or even read what is accompanied with this video. There's a quote by her that says, "I'll tell you what freedom means to me, no fear." Right. But in that, it's less than 2 minutes. The 2 minute video that I watched, you see her talking about how, it's something that's hard to explain, right? Because she equated it to you trying to explain to someone who has never been in love what love feels like, right? Some things are simply experiences that you have to have in order to be able to understand, right? Partially that is because, just like with love, freedom, my experience with freedom and things that make me feel free are going to look totally different than your experience with freedom and things that make you feel free, right? It's part of that individuality. And same thing with love. The things that make me feel loved are not going to look the same as the things that make you feel loved. And so we see, in this conversation, uh, the root of this good girl type of architect really is rooted in people pleasing, and really in this desire for others to not see you as wrong, or um, you know, definitely rooted in what other people's opinions are of you, which is not freedom, right? Like, because we're not going to always make everyone happy all the time in all the things with all the decisions that we make. And so freedom for me as I'm moving into this journey is essentially this realization that everyone is not going to be happy, everyone is not going to be excited or proud of every decision that I make, but ultimately, my freedom requires that I make the decision that is best for me in the moment without um anyone else's input, right? There's a level of sovereignty that comes from that. There's a level of autonomy as well that comes from this as you step into this, aspect of things. And you could be a leader. I mean, I consider myself a leader. I consider myself, I'm a boss in regards to my business, right? Like, I am a coach who helps have impacts on other women. But at the same time, there's this level of duality where two things can be true at once, right? I can be really great in those roles and create impact for all the women that I come into contact. And then at the same time, I also can feel there's areas within my life where I am bound still and I'm not free and I'm bound by other people's expectations of me. I am bound by this desire that's deep rooted for uh everyone else's comfortability. And the issue with that is not that those things are important to me or, it is more so that those things outweigh what my own pleasure, those things outweigh my own desires, those things operate at a detriment to what it is that I want to do with my life, right? And then that's where the issue comes in. That's where now I am infringing on my own boundaries, on my own happiness, on my own joy in the way in which I show up to placate to the comfortability of those closest to me, of those that I serve, right? Because as someone who where impact is important to me, the ladies that I serve are important to me as well. But making sure that I am doing so from a place that is powerful and I'm able to honor um the things that I, still want to do in the process. So, then you begin to see kind of like this rabbit hole that you can go down because then it becomes like, what decisions am I making that are out of alignment but I think they are in alignment? Um, you know, am does my so my flagship bit offer is my membership, right? And so then it comes down to like different things that I want to do in there. And if when it comes to changes that I want to make, you know, am I holding off on those things? Am I not shifting those things um because I'm more concerned with everybody else as opposed to what I know I'm being called to do or what feels good in my spirit, right? Like, and so it becomes kind of this balancing act that happens where it's like, I'm not trying to be a dick either, right? Like, or, to be tripping or nothing either. And so the question that I pondered for today was really, what would a life with no fear look like for me? And for me, it's not a matter of not having a conscience, right? Or of not doing things because I still have a deep level of compassion for others. I have a deep level of respect for those that I hold closest to me. Um, when people come into my space, I am that chick that's like, I want to see everybody win, right? Like, that is part of who I am. And so all those things don't shift, but there is, for me, this new discovery of kind of where the line is of, I want to see you win. And at the same time, I can't want it more than you do. And I can't try to pull you along at the detriment of myself, right? Like, and what that means and how we operate within that. So that's kind of where I'm at today in regards to how this is starting. So for me, it's just this intentionality of one, getting out everything that God has me to get uh in these in these days to come as I am kind of looking into these things and rewriting some of the stories that I've told myself or that I've been told in the process, so that I can come out on the other side fully in my power and not having aspects of myself feeling like a caged bird, not only being a caged bird, but a caged bird in a cage that's too small for this bird, right? Like, so it's like this double whammy situation. And so, uh, the affirmation for today is I do not need permission to be free. And so I sit with that and I allow that to ruminate within my body, within my spirit, and I allow that to carry me into tomorrow. So until then, I'll see y'all back here. All right.